Do you ever end each day exhausted, fulfilling everyone else's needs while your own dreams sit on a shelf, collecting dust? Does the mere thought of saying no to a request send a jolt of anxiety straight through your body, terrified of letting someone down or facing their disapproval? If you nodded yes to either of those questions, you understand the quiet frustration of people-pleasing. It's a cycle where your kindness becomes a cage, and today we are going to find the key. That key is not another list of what to say, but rather the one fundamental skill that makes saying it possible, the skill almost no one is talking about. We often mistake people-pleasing as a personality trait, something we just are, but in reality it is a sophisticated survival strategy we learned long ago. We learned that staying quiet and agreeable kept us safe, that putting others first earned us praise, and that rocking the boat meant facing conflict or rejection. This strategy works wonderfully, until one day you realize the life you have built is not your own. The real barrier to change is not a lack of knowledge. We all know we can say no. The true barrier is a deep, visceral fear of what happens after we do, the terrifying prospect of someone's frustration, their disappointment, or their anger. We are not afraid of the word no, we are afraid of the reaction that follows it. This fear triggers a constant internal negotiation. You end up managing everyone else's emotions at the direct expense of your own energy, your time, and your very sense of self. So if the core problem is a fear of reactions, then the solution must be building the capacity to handle them. This is the number one skill, the absolute foundation for genuine confidence and boundaries. It is the practice of learning to tolerate the temporary discomfort of someone else's negative response. Think of it as building an emotional immune system. You are not trying to avoid every germ, instead you are building the strength to handle exposure without getting sick. This skill is the missing link between knowing you should set a limit and actually feeling able to do it without being consumed by guilt and anxiety. Most advice skips this step entirely. It just gives you a script and sends you into battle completely unarmored. But when you have this skill, everything changes because you are no longer a hostage to the potential mood of another person. The beautiful part is this is not an innate talent, it is a muscle anyone can build with practice, and it begins with a simple shift in perspective. Start by noticing the stories your mind creates, the catastrophic predictions of what will happen if you speak up, and gently question them. How likely is it that your reasonable boundary will truly end a relationship or cause a massive conflict? Then, you must begin the practice of exposure, starting with small, low-stakes situations that feel slightly uncomfortable but not terrifying. Volunteer your true opinion in a conversation, or decline an invitation you would normally force yourself to accept. Your only job is to notice the anxiety in your body, breathe through it, and prove to yourself that you can survive the feeling, and that often, the dreaded outcome never even arrives. For instance, imagine a friend asks you to help them move on your only day off. The automatic yes is on the tip of your tongue, fueled by the immediate image of their disappointed face. This is the critical moment. Instead of reacting, you pause. You might say, "Let me check my plans and get back to you in 5 minutes." This pause alone is a revolutionary act. It breaks the automatic cycle and gives you space to feel the fear without obeying it. When you call back, you can say, "I won't be able to help with the move, but I hope it goes smoothly." The goal is not to make them happy. The goal is to be able to say those words and handle whatever their response is, even if it is a sigh or a passive-aggressive text. Each time you do this, you are building that critical muscle. If this video is resonating with you, please take a second to like it and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us grow and reach other people who need to watch this very video. As you practice tolerating that initial discomfort, you will find your voice begins to emerge from the shadows where it has been hiding. You will discover the courage to state a preference you used to keep silent, or to make a request for something you need. This is where a powerful shift occurs. You move from a life of constant reaction to one of intentional action. For example, perhaps you have always wanted to ask your boss for a more flexible work schedule but feared being seen as a slacker. Armed with this new skill, you can prepare for that conversation differently. You can acknowledge your own nervousness and then calmly present your case, not as an apology, but as a clear, respectful proposal. You are able to sit comfortably with the silence that follows, trusting yourself to handle a no and believing you deserve a yes. Each small act is a vote for your own self-respect, a declaration that your needs are not negotiable and your time is not a public resource. This is not about becoming harsh or selfish, it is about shifting the source of your validation from outside approval to an internal, unshakable knowing that you are enough. You move from a life of automatic yeses to one of conscious, intentional choices. This journey involves reclaiming all the parts of yourself you had to hide away, your opinions, your desires, your occasional anger, and your right to change your mind. It is about learning that you can be a kind, generous person without being a perpetual resource others drain without permission. The journey from people pleaser to empowered individual is not about a single grand gesture, but the quiet accumulation of these small moments of courage. It is the moment you choose your own priorities over an unreasonable demand, and breathe through the brief tension that follows. Remember, the goal is not to control how others feel about you, the goal is to respect yourself so deeply that their reaction does not control you. This path leads to the most surprising destination, which is actually better relationships. Relationships based on authenticity and mutual respect are far more rewarding than those built on obligation and resentment. So I invite you now to take that first small step and identify one opportunity to practice. Remember, a life of powerful purpose and authentic connection is waiting for you on the other side of that single word, no. Thank you for watching.